I watched the first 2 seasons of this. I didn't, after the second season, I didn't even want to touch the third season, particularly when Henry Cavill had already announced that he was leaving after the third season before it even came out. So to jump in to season 4, absolutely horrific to watch. How has it been received? Well, there is something really, really telling. But here, this is what initially grabbed my attention. Not the 20% score by the audience. The first thing that grabbed me, only 20 reviewers have bothered to post a review. And this 60%, when you click onto top critics, dropped to 33. Chris Hemsworth's quietly ridiculous turn is nonetheless perfectly attuned to a show that harks back to the days before fantasy was cool and gets by just about on sheer silliness. 6 out of 10. Clint Worthington from the RogerEbert.com site. Perhaps it's fitting that we only have to toss a coin to our Witcher once more after this. So there's going to be this because there's a 5th season. I'm pretty sure that's going to be it. Now, Lauren Histrich has already announced that she's going to be stepping away. She's like, "Oh, there's plenty more stories that other people could tell." No. This is dying with season 5. It's already done. Your show's already done. And she knows that. That's why she's stepping away. Now, I just want to remind you, good people, that when The Witcher was announced, the plan was for 7 seasons. 7. And it looks like Henry Cavill's contract he was contracted for 3 with potential to extend his contract going forward. He chose to exercise his leaving of the contract after season 2. And you have to imagine that he probably saw the writing on the wall during filming of season 1, because one of the very first things he said after being interviewed at the end of season 1 was, "I hope they do it more like the source material." And Henry speaks very respectfully in interviews, very respectfully indeed. But you could tell when Henry Cavill says that, even regardless of how nicely he says it, he's saying that this is shit. What they're doing is not The Witcher. And of course, one of the reasons why Henry Cavill took on the role was he was a huge Witcher fan, and playing Geralt was a bucket list role for him. So this was meant to be 7 seasons. That was the initial plan. Cavill gone after 3. The show is done after 5, but we all know that the season 5 in itself is a joke, and it probably should have been cancelled after season 3. Instead of Netflix deciding to back Henry and get a new showrunner, they decided to back Lauren Histrich. And congratulations, Netflix. This is what you get. A dead show. Nick Hilton, The Independent UK. 4 out of 10. No amount of imaginative swordplay or innovative creature design can prevent the sense that The Witcher is now what all sword and sorcery epics fear becoming: pure bilge. But that was a 4 out of 10. Adamide Tinubu, who works for Variety, I am shocked, gives it a thumbs up. In a much sharper and less convoluted season than the previous one. Season 3 was shit. The Witcher season 4 is action-packed and full of dazzling characters, both old and new. I want to rip the heads off every member of the Rats on my own. I want to beg the bounty hunter, dude, can you give me the honor, please? I will pay you so that I can cleave these heads twixt their shoulders. The characters are awful. The only thing, there was only one scene that I relatively liked, and that was between Lawrence Fishburne and Liam Hemsworth as he was dressing his wound. And that's simply because Lawrence Fishburne is a good actor, and I do like him a lot. But does he look like Regis? No, not in the slightest. But it was the first time that it actually felt like two people were talking, two legitimate people were talking. Sarah Dempster of The Guardian, 4 out of 10. While his predecessor invested Geralt 1 with a gruff likability, Geralt 2 is left valorous man-mountain grappling with responsibilities beyond our ken, and more bollard in a wig. Ouch. Chase Hutchinson, top critic from The Wrap. Where Cavill brought a real presence to the role, managing to be gruffly funny in one moment and believably brutal in the next, Hemsworth is just another anchor around the entire experience from which The Witcher can't shake free. They're not wrong. Hemsworth compared to Cavill is non-comparable. As I mentioned earlier, Henry Cavill's got great screen presence, and he had great screen presence as Geralt. And it was the only time that the show was bearable was when Geralt was separated from the other horrible characters so he could just do something. But even Henry Cavill couldn't stomach this show any longer, and he had to get out. The Witcher, it's done. It's done. They can't even be bothered to fucking review it. People most likely can't be bothered to watch it, and season 5 is just going to be an utter catastrophe. Oh, well, it's not our problem. Not my problem. Fingers crossed, maybe in 20 years' time, we'll get a better, proper adaptation. I'll probably be long gone by then, but would be nice to see.